Hi, and welcome to today's advancis podcast. This is part 2 of a series on social media and the reasons you may not be getting the results you want. Today we look at e-commerce, the impact of social media on your e-commerce activities, and we start off by declaring that social media is a terrible e-commerce tool. The lockdowns due to the COVID-19 demonstrated one thing without the shadow of a doubt. Social media platforms do not come close to e-commerce or websites when it comes to selling online. During the past 10 years, small businesses opted to bypass websites entirely, preferring instead to develop their online presence on social platforms. Well, that was a big mistake. When the lockdown was imposed, we noticed that around the world, these businesses were forced to take orders via the phone or email. The chronological nature of the layout of social media interface made it impossible to update inventory, present accurate product availability to buyers, or even take orders. In short, they were useless. These findings were supported by a recent survey by BizRate Insights, which shows that 70% of US adults have never made a purchase via a social media platform. Consider what you're selling before wasting resources on social media. For most industries, it will generate marginal benefits and should be allotted the corresponding level of funds and efforts. It's great to connect with family and friends, or if you're a celebrity. If people want to follow you, then you'll benefit from social media. Increasing reach with new followers is another story. Well, on social media, everything is easy to fake. Fake accounts, fake posts by robots, statistics that can easily be altered. Unless you get genuine interaction resulting from your social media efforts, you must remain open to the idea that the horde of followers that you have may not be there. Hashtags. Hashtags are actually probably the feature we like the most. For some reason, people have become masters at creating powerful, concise, and meaningful slogans to use as hashtags. It's true. I say for some reason because the slogans and headlines we see in ads and commercials are nothing in comparison. So kudos to everyone. The problem is that any hashtag can be hijacked. Consequently, flooding the networks with hostile messages can easily derail the most carefully planned efforts. There are no policies to prevent anyone from doing this, and that's too bad. On a side note, the greatest hashtag use we've seen was the Italian designer Dolce Gabbana's who used the hashtag boycott Dolce Gabbana, which they even printed on their apparel. This came about as the result of the movement to boycott the companies because the designers had agreed to make clothes for the First Lady. So hijacking it almost meant promoting their product line, and that quickly dissipated hostile efforts. But then you can say, but advancis, you are on social media, and that's true, but simply to protect our brand. We actually don't really care about reach. That's just that our voice is truly our own. Ironically, our ROI is not that bad compared to some politicians. In the end, it's all about them, the social media platforms, the hype orchestrated by social media giants, and it wasn't free to be mentioned everywhere in the media and ensure that telecom companies would not charge users for time spent on social networks. These social giants created a huge momentum and the illusion that they were the only place online where things were happening. The genius of the social media giants was to get you involved daily and sometimes multiple times all year long. Despite claiming otherwise, not that many marketers paid serious attention to ROI because no one wanted to declare that it was not really working for them as a promotional tool. Of course, social media benefited enormously the financial markets, and mission was accomplished. Thank you for listening. As always, if you want a transcript of this podcast, you can go to the advancis.com website and look in the blog section for additional articles covering the topic. And until next time, I want to thank you for listening.